You be careful with the laptop on that boat.
Oh, God, Dad.
And can you turn the screen away from the sun? It's so sunny I can't see your face.
Dad?
Well, this damn Skype makes me feel awkward. Why can't you phone?
Because the reception's bad. Look, this is better. At least I'm keeping in touch.
All right, but at least turn the sound up or something.
I can hear you fine.
I can't hear you. What time is it?
Oh, Dad. 9 a.m.
So why are you out in the harbour and not at uni?
Free morning, no classes. I got a new tattoo, Dad.
Oh, what? What, another animal to go along with the lion, eh?
No. It's Mum's death.
What?
Date of the car crash. 3/12/10. Remember that one, mate?
Yeah, don't talk to me like that. Why on earth did you go and...
Look, I'm very happy with it.
When did you do it?
Told you, it's new. Fresh. Still scabbing a little.
Where is it?
Where I like to be scratched. On my back between the shoulder blades. She used to... When I was a kid.
Yeah, I know. I was there, remember? You're still a kid.
Dad?
Can I see it?
No.
Just show me, please.
This is crazy. Look, this is as close as I can get. I can't lay back anymore. I don't want to get the laptop wet.
It's really big. It's like a sodding newspaper
Dad,
headline.
Look, I didn't have to show you. Look, Dad, you decided to go off to England and I'm here in Sydney. I'm not doing anything but going to uni and getting some time off like now to clear my head. Look, I think I'm behaving like the most responsible 17-year-old in the world.
Okay, look, I'm sorry. So it's just odd.
No, it isn't. Look, loads of people have them. It's a death tattoo.
But Owen, why?
First I looked at the tarot death card, which the tattoo bloke says is very popular. Then I thought about a yellow rose because Mum liked them. Then I kept it simple. That's why the numbers are black and yellow. I might still get a golden retro rose with a curling stem that curls around. Look, Dad, you left me here, so you have to trust what I do. This isn't about you. I feel like Mum's kind of with me with this. I like it. You know, it's none of your business. Look, I'm going to click this red button now.
Hey, Owen! Owen!
It's understandable that you're angry with him. I mean, you're both in a lot of pain right now, but you're very different, you and Owen. I mean, you just handle things differently.
He has gone and tattooed the date of Bronwyn's death on his back. Why?
Well, I mean, he's got a couple of other tattoos, hasn't he? So that means he already couldn't be buried in a Jewish graveyard.
Oh, yeah, Mum, don't be flippant.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simon. I just hate seeing you upset like this. I'll pour us a glass of wine.
Make it a double scotch.
All right. What does it look like?
It's numbers, the date. The date of the car crash.
That is quite a statement. Shows his love for his mum.
It's like a kid. He's acting out to rattle Dad. Maybe he's just angry that I'm here rather than there with him.
Simon, I think he just wants you to talk to him.
He should have gone to a dishy Dr. Anna like you sent me.
I'm glad you took my advice.
Is it true that Jews with tattoos can't get into the cemetery?
You didn't know that?
Why would I know that?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling, of course. There's no reason you should know about your father's culture. I'm sorry.
This is the first instalment of my audio diary. Dr. Anna asked me to do this. I feel a bit of a fool up here in my old room with Beano annuals, but here goes. This evening's been bloody awful. Owen is mad at me and acting out. What I want to say to him is, okay, you don't have your mum, but I lost my best friend. She was my wife for 20 years. She goes to buy potting soil or something and the police call. Ambulance, doctors, funerals, her parents. I just need a break.
You look more rested than you did last week.
Well, I took a sleeping pill. I started the audio diary.
Good. How'd you find it?
It's hell. No, it's easier than I thought.
It's just for you. You might never listen back to it, or you might one day. So you can say anything. Don't edit yourself, if you see what I mean.
Well, that's good, as I keep blubbing. But I try not to when I'm talking to Owen or my mother.
You're safe here, you know.
Really? I don't feel like it. It feels weird.
Why?
Oh, come on. Look at you. You must be used to clients, patients, whatever you call them, finding you attractive. It makes it more difficult. I'm supposed to be thinking about my wife, but I keep looking at your legs. Yeah, I am at the age where everyone, the plumber, the lawyer, the doctor, are all 20 years younger than me. And female. Well, maybe not the plumber. But I didn't expect a grief therapist to look like a model.
Look, you miss Bronwyn. Many grieving men become quite promiscuous, do a lot of drinking. But you're in here talking. That's very sensible. Acknowledge your feelings if you can. You're still a young man, and those feelings are natural.
Young? I just turned 50. I just told you I have the occasional boiling sexual feelings, but most of the time, living with my mum these last few weeks, being in my old bedroom, I feel 12.
You're going through hell. You're very labile.
I'm not really sure what that means.
Apt to change.
Look, but I want to be a better dad. I need to be. I know that, but I can't. Not now. I need to be myself. Anyway, it's hard to be a good dad. I've always found it a struggle. My wife guided me from when Owen was a baby. I watched her and sort of copied her. The way she read to him, played, talked to his friends, and I suppose in some ways I've copied my mum. Remembered how she looked after me.
You don't mention your father.
What father? I was illegitimate. Always sounds so old-fashioned, doesn't it?
What do you know about him?
You could put it on a postcard.
Tell me.
He was a printmaker, a German Jew who went to Israel before the war. Then he sort of showed up in Florence as some kind of art teacher. He held court in the cafes, surrounded by foreign women artists who adored him. Mum was one of them. They had a fling. She went back to England, told him she was pregnant, and as she predicted, he said she should have an abortion. She never told him that she had gone ahead and had me. But she gave me his name. A Hebrew name. My mum saddled me with a name no one could spell or say and comes from a country I know nothing about and have no wish to go to.
Are you anti-Semitic?
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about Judaism.
Simon Sakhanar. I think it has a nice ring. Like a violinist. Your dad. What's his first name?
David. Do we have to talk about this? I tried to shut out all the memory of him after the one disastrous time I met him as a teenager.
You met him?
Yes. Once.
And?
I went to see him and he told me I should have been aborted.
I see. What did you feel then?
What do you think I felt?
Abandoned?
I just wanted to know that I had a father. And for someone to say, "Hello, son. Good to meet you." It's not too much to ask.
Well, I'm really sorry. We're done for today. But you revealed a lot today. That's good.
All my life, I think I did something wrong. I should have let him know I was coming. I should have dressed better, been better looking. I should have brought him some of my artwork. I was doing a lot of sketching then.
Do you know where he is now?
No,
You want to find out?
I think I do. I want to ask him why he was such a louse. Get an apology. Tell him about his grandson. I've never even Googled him. So simple and obvious, but I've never done it.
If you decide to do a search, you could open up a Pandora's box. It could lead you anywhere. You know, we open a lot of boxes in life, and some lids are hard, impossible even, to close. This could get you in contact with people who could get upset, and could get you upset. Or it could help. The internet is so dramatic, really. It can all happen in a matter of hours.
So, here I am, a middle-aged marketing consultant on a search for his father. You'd think I'd have learned. I never thought I'd do this again. No, I'm not daft enough to go unannounced this time. One step at a time. A campaign strategy. Just stick to a few brief questions.
Tina, ¿es esto hablar contigo? Tina, Tina.
Oh, hi, hon. I put a little bit more of those mirror bits in here, and
That's it. It's good.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down here, okay? I got a strange email. I don't know what to say. It seems that David Sakana had a son.
David.
No one knew he had a son. I mean, did you know that he had a son?
Of course I didn't.
Because the son writes to me. My pulse, it's racing.
Oh my God, Jeff, that's not good. You mustn't get upset. It's just, this is not good. Was she American? This woman that had David's child?
No, she's British.
So this man, who is he?
Well, he was brought up outside of London, but moved as a young man to Australia. His name is Simon Sakana.
Oh, good Lord. So the girl gave her child David's name.
Well, she was probably nuts about David. I mean, they all were. And he was a dangerous magnet. It's been 30 years.
Until now. What does he want, Jeff?
I don't know what to say. I am requesting any information you can give me about what David was like as an artist, as a teacher, as a man. He found an old article in an art journal, and it said his business partner was Jeff Rodriguez, a native of Tucson, Arizona.
Like you're the only Rodriguez in Arizona or Tucson. Look, tell him you're not the right one.
Well, why would I do that?
Because you don't need this. Do you want to torture yourself?
Don't you want to read it, woman? Read it first and then lecture me?
Pass me that rag.
I'll light a fire. It's getting colder now. It's okay if we eat outside.
Yeah, it'll help my grout dry. Dear Jeff, a little detective work leads me to believe that you may have known my father, David. If I am mistaken, my apologies for troubling you. If it is you, I hope you will bear with me for a few sentences. I met my father once in the late 1970s. I was 17 and have had no news of him since. I thought I would have a try last night on Google to see if I might be able to track down anyone who knew him. Your name was a name that came up in a couple of Jeff, people do this kind of thing all the time now. I mean, a few seconds of writing to a stranger on a whim late at night. Maybe he had a few beers. Are you sure you want to go through this?
You opened up your computer and took the plunge. That was brave.
Oh, well, I wanted to impress you. I found a name that came up a few times, a Jeff Rodriguez, who's in Tucson, Arizona.
So you wrote. And
But apparently, when he was a grad student, he took his bride...
that's how he put it. Quaint.
Yeah, it was like getting an old-fashioned letter. Anyway, he and his bride, they went to Florence in the early 60s, and Jeff worked for David in his print shop, and then they went into business together.
And then?
That's all he said. Then he wanted to know about me. What were my motives? I've replied and made it clear that basically I just want to know if he's still alive.
And if he isn't?
I was thinking, it's like he's blown the lid off stuff that was shut up in dusty boxes. Like the boxes in the barn. But that can be good, right?
Wait. I have to switch lanes. Oh, God. The blinker is not working. No, I think you've made a mistake, Jeff.
It's harmless.
Now, look, I've missed my parking space. I cannot... Okay, no, you are not just chatting. I don't want you to take it further.
Yeah, I know that. You've made that clear.
Jeff, here's a space. I got a space. I've got to get to the dentist, and then I have to pick up your canvas. And you are talking about this all the time, and I don't know what to say. I wish you had just deleted Simon's email. God. Oh, okay. I'm in. David was just about the most toxic person I've ever met. Maybe someone who wants revenge has put Simon up to it.
I don't think so. He writes about his boy, his work, his boat club. He's a good guy. He'd be okay to spend time with you, you know?
Sure, you're going to have to get this blinker fixed. This is not good. And if you are right, then he's going to have a lot to deal with, and we should protect him.
And so he's told you that David's dead?
Yes, it took a while. He said he needed to know general things about me, my life, before he could answer my questions. Do you mind if I read it from my phone? I heard of his death through a mutual friend in the 80s. Some years later, when I was briefly in Florence, I found and visited his gravesite in the Jewish cemetery. A simple grave.
How sad.
No, it's not sad, it's infuriating. David Kampfner, I can't call him father, cheated me of the chance to tell him what I think. I wanted to tell him to his face that he was a lousy, irresponsible waste of time.
Well, your search is over.
No. I like writing to Jeff. Listen how he describes how they met. David Kampfner was well known in the international art community of the city. A more spirited and worldly wise man I had never met before. I guess I was an impressionable young Latino from Arizona. He had an amazing mind. He taught me so much about my craft, and I saw Florence through his eyes. I've lived my life in jeans. He chose his clothes with great care, almost a dandy.
Does his description of David sound like you?
Look at me. But my son Owen, now he's a looker. Likes vintage clothes, quite a charmer.
So David was somewhat older than Jeff. How old is Jeff?
77, but very active. Built his own house, lives on a ranch.
Sounds like you've made a friend.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to make friends at my age.
Yes, but this isn't about making friends. It's about dredging up your father.
The man is dead. How can he hurt me?
Dear Simon, I am sitting in the backyard next to our outdoor fireplace. I spend a lot of time out here. We've had some wonderful parties. Now I'm more or less retired and less sociable. I go on a lot of mountain hikes up to our cabin, sometimes with Tina, but often alone, which is fine too. I still print woodcuts. I have a studio in the barn.
Opposite the studio is the corral. We have a small ranch. We have 2 horses, Wyatt and Morgan, named after the Earp brothers. Tombstone is only 2 hours away, the site of the famous battle at the OK Corral. This morning I went to feed the horses and found a javelina, which is a kind of wild pig and kind of isn't. You can look it up.
Anyway, it was bleeding. Probably a coyote got him, but in Australia I believe you have your feral pigs too. Amazing, all these global threads. David from Germany by way of Israel to Florence. Did I tell you that? You from England to Australia, me a Latino from American Southwest to Florence.
So you are now requesting information about your father's life. But sometimes we have to be prepared for disappointments, even shocks. My own father was hopeless at holding down a job and a constant embarrassment to me. I've told you that David is dead. That was your first question.
Perhaps we should leave it at that. On the other hand, I did feel that he was a father figure to me for some formative years of my life. I doubt if he ever felt that I was any kind of surrogate son. Anyway, I feel some kind of tie to you, which is hard to define. I will try to answer questions as you ask them. Jeff.
You bet I have more questions. Did he knock up other women? Do I have siblings? What did he die of?
This stuff with Dad's kind of stressing me out and weighing me down with the schoolwork, you know. He copied me some of their emails.
Did he? That's interesting. He's been showing me all of them, or, well, I think all of them. Hey, I pretend I'm interested, do you?
No. Told him I think it's weird. They write emails like they're writing Jane Austen-type letters. I mean, two guys.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, I agree, love. But I suppose now they've sort of met on the internet, you know, they're getting to know each other better. It's like computer dating.
How do you know?
Oh, well, I might never have married, but I haven't exactly been lonely, you know.
I'm glad to hear that.
You know, now that I think about it, your dad has never been the letter-writing type. I mean, of course, these letters, you know, not emails.
They haven't phoned or Skyped each other?
No. No, he says he doesn't want to talk to Jeff because, I don't know, something about it might spoil the flow. I think, like, they're both afraid to pick up the phone.
Well, why can't they instant message? I'm sorry, Grandma, but I don't know what my father's up to. Mum died 5.5 months ago and he just scarpered off to England. And now he's there, he doesn't seem to be doing anything except sit at the computer writing to this bloke.
I was never in touch with your grandfather, you know. But he was very seductive.
I mean, he was a ladies' man.
Everybody, I mean, women and men fell for him, you see.
So Dad's in deep?
I'm afraid he is.
I'm sorry I'm late. I got caught up on the ring road.
Gather yourself. Take your time.
Yes, I'll just turn this off.
You're like a lovesick boy who's checking your email.
I think I said the wrong thing. Jeff hasn't written for a week.
What was the last thing you wrote?
Yeah, I'll just find it. Give me a sec. Here. Jeff, I think in order for you to understand me, I need to show you the letter David wrote to me after my visit. I hope it might interest you.
So you sent that and Jeff hasn't responded?
No. Perhaps Jeff thought I was sending him something too personal. I crossed a line.
You are worrying so much about hurting Jeff's feelings. I am not here to analyse Jeff. Have you spoken to Owen?
What?
Talk about him. Come back to the living. You need to think about him.
So I did use the phone this time. Happy now?
Yeah, finally.
Dad, Gran says you're at the computer all day sending emails to that bloke in America. Can't you come home? You could send emails from here.
I can't. Something's come up.
Yeah?
Jeff and I are talking about me going to Arizona. Just a quick trip, you know, mate?
That's crazy. You don't know him. He's not family. He's not even a friend. Lives in a tiny corner of America. Why are you going there?
It's something I need to do. It's beautiful. He lives on a ranch. It has these saguaro cactuses as tall as a small house. It's with horses and wild pigs and surrounded by all these...
Dad, you bang on at me to study and you're bloody sightseeing, globetrotting, see a stranger.
It's not like that, Owen.
Look, I remember one row you and Mum had and she said, you're always running away. That's what you're doing. You're frickin' running away. Do what you like. Get lost. Just leave me alone. I don't care about you. I only cared about Mum.
I can't be at home in Sydney right now watching Bronwyn's beautiful garden die. I need some new scenery, relax. Margaritas with Jeff. Face to face talking. Yeah, it'll be a trip. Best case scenario, I hear the guy was talented and charismatic. Worst case, I'll hear he was a feckless, shallow philanderer.
You know, Granny, he sent me a photo of my grandfather. And this letter from him, he's taken the photo to Jeff.
I found the photo. You look just like David.
I don't think so. Look like someone at a posh horse race.
Well, I think you're as handsome as he ever was.
It's good I got you on Skype, Gran, because of this letter, so we can share the screen.
Well, it is an ancient document, love.
So you can see the letter on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I've read this letter a couple of times and it just seems unreal. Simon, you arrived unannounced a week ago. Perhaps you should think about the kind of unconscionable behaviour that is demonstrated by showing up out of the blue. You could have brought on a stroke. As it happens, I have severe hypertension. I have no idea what you hope to achieve from this visitation.
What a strange word to use. You know perfectly well, because you told me in your blunt manner, that I had informed your mother that if she didn't take my advice and have an abortion, then she could no longer be in touch with me. So you knew full well that I wanted no part in your life. Do you think that if I set eyes on you, I would change my mind?
Do you want to go on, Gran?
No. I think it's important, love. I think it's important for you.
All right, I'll carry on. If so, that is naive and foolish. Is that why you arrived crumpled and bedraggled, hoping that I would feel sorry for you? You come from a generation that has been so protected, a spoiled, selfish generation, quite... I can't make out the next few words.
I am too far removed from too many things in life, and there is no way of return at 62.
Any attempt on your part to force what has happened into a tragedy would be plain nonsense. Your generation has no tragedy. When we were young, we had no money, even for cigarettes. The war was about to explode on the world, and I can't read the next word.
You do not have to struggle, as I did, and come of age at 17, totally alone, in a frontier community struggling to exist. I grew up without my father. I fled Germany just in time and without my parents. I never saw them again. I have nothing further to say, and this shall be my only communication with you. If you attempt to communicate with me again, you will hear from my lawyer. Yours truly, D. Sakinar.
What a bastard. Poor Dad. He was my age.
And now for the weather. Today will be sunny with a high of 81
If you'll
degrees.
clear those
Chance of
books
scattered
off, I can put
thunderstorms
the tray
overnight.
down.
In national news, according to an article published in the Arizona Tribune today, more people who have been pronounced unfit for military service are buying guns.
The world thinks everyone in Tucson walks around with a legally concealed weapon.
I'm sure that's not what Simon thinks.
New regulations on the sale of guns and ammunition.
We'll have a little party for him, yes, huh? Might even put together a little piñata. If you made some of your frijoles negros, he would love that.
It's just you think you've got this whole thing worked out, but you don't know you'll get on.
It'll be fun. I know it'll be fun. I think that. Huh? I'll take him up to the cabin on my usual hike.
Well, there's no way out now. You've brought this on yourself.
You have got to try to help me out here and back me up. I need you, Tina. Come on now, we're a team.
Well, we always have been. But in the business, I did the books. I took the burden. When David couldn't do his work, you know, he blamed us. He blamed everyone. And all those angry letters he wrote, he drained us. You know, we could have lost this place.
I know, but I closed the business. I did take a stand.
Yeah, and then you were a wreck. How many days were you in that cabin?
But you sent that stupid doctor up to see me. Embarrassed the hell out of me, woman.
But we've done a great job trying to forget. But now you just
It's okay. It's okay. I just want to meet Simon. I've never heard his voice.
This is supposed to be the desert, but you've got more fruit and veg than most Sydney backyards. I guess it's this impressive water system, but isn't it wasteful?
No, it's recycled from the pond.
My wife had a fabulous garden. All these fruits! Massive grapefruits! And what are these little pineapples?
They're very poisonous. Hey, watch it now. You got to keep a wide berth from that cactus. You don't want the spines in your knees. You should have never worn those shorts.
This weather is fantastic.
You still feeling like you want to go up and see the cabin?
Oh, very much. Can we see it from here?
Yeah, well, it's in that direction there, in the snow line. Yeah, it's a good hike, though.
Well, if you can do it. I can't tell one mountain from another.
That's what separates the strangers from the natives. Watch it now, you're going to get torn. I thought you Aussies did bushwalking.
Well, not this one.
Tucson, you know, comes from the Native American Chukson. I don't remember what that means. Not good at derivations.
Ah, but you're very good with words.
You would think your mother didn't tell you what Sakano means in Hebrew.
No, my mother never said.
Your father loved to tell everyone. You laugh, you had this odd laugh, a little high-pitched. It got to annoying the hell out of me. Danger, he would say. How about that? My name is Danger.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Think so, huh?
Oh, this is impressive. Can I have a go?
Sure.
They're fantastic. Yeah. Hey, lucky you don't have any neighbours.
Yeah, go easy now. Those are Tina's. Of course, she's moved on to murals now.
Huh?
David liked coming here. Liked coming here to get away from the cafes in Florence. This country reminded him of his years on the kibbutz.
He was there when they were first set up?
Pretty much. Said he had to shoot some intruders.
Really? You said he liked to spin stories.
Well, I could tell which were the stories and which were the real ones.
That has to be one of the most evocative sounds in the world.
That's a Texas Eagle, en route for San Antonio. You know, I once put your father on a train to Austin to a teaching job that I pulled the strings for, and he lasted all of 2 months on.
Yeah, I'd prefer if you didn't say my father. He was more your father than mine. Why didn't it work out, that appointment?
Usual. Always found someone to accuse, to attack. He was convinced that some student was painting swastikas on his belongings. Even when there was no case, he wouldn't give it up.
Yeah, he told me when I went to see him that he wanted nothing to do with me, and then he had to rub it in with a letter a week later.
Yes, well, he had a knack of twisting things, so you ended up feeling guilty.
Oh, wow. You converted this?
Yeah.
Did you strip all the rafters yourself?
Mm-hmm. Old horse barn. Needed extra storage. We opened a couple of boxes before you came, and Tina found a print of David's that she wants you to have.
Oh, what is it?
It's a bear with a Japanese gargoyle head. A woodcut.
No. I'd rather not have it. I mean, I hope Tina isn't upset.
Yeah, she'll be all right. She'll be fine. It's your choice. But I want you to know that it's technically proficient.
You okay?
I said I was fine. I just didn't want David in my backyard.
You know, he didn't take suntan lotion. Take some tomorrow with you, okay? And one thing to bring water. I got that spine out with a tweezer. And tell him to wear layers and cover his knees.
You tell him that. I can't.
Okay.
You know, it's awkward. Maybe I shouldn't have asked him to come. And maybe you were right.
Too late, Buster. He's here for a week. Face it. You asked him to come.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know about that. I think he asked first.
I think you did. Oh, what the hell. It shows you were both in tune. You wanted this visit, but... God, now it feels weird. I don't feel comfortable. I don't think he's comfortable. And you.
Well, that's why I'm taking him up the mountain.
Well, that's good. So now tell him. I don't want you to come back and tell me that you couldn't tell him. I want David finally out of our lives.
I need you to know I'm remembering my nightmares. This is a slight detour. I like taking people this way. Mexicans came here to work at copper mines nearby, and they lived in little settlements all around. This was a tiny village, really. Those two houses are all that's left. You like these crosses?
Yeah. You speak Spanish? What's on this cross?
What a question, que si hablo español, idiota. Of course, it's my heritage. Pedro López, que descanse en paz. Que Dios lo guarde. It's nothing special.
That carving's good.
I'm not good at languages, but Italian was okay for me. David hated Americans who didn't speak Italian.
So, we are talking about David. It seemed like you were avoiding him today.
He spoke fluent Hebrew, German, passable French, quite decent Italian, and impeccable English. Sometimes when he was in states of confusion, which got increasingly worse, he would mix languages as if he couldn't remember what reality he was living in at the moment.
His confusion?
Yes.
So, tell me more.
What would you like to know?
Oh, come on. You mentioned his temper, his outburst. Was he mentally ill?
Okay. Sit down. I had him checked out.
What?
David. Late 1970s. I got a psychiatrist friend to hang around the cafe for a while and watch him, incognito. His verdict was that David had an anger issue, yes, but was borderline, not mad. More like increasingly bitter and disappointed that his art wasn't recognized. The psychiatrist also thought he was a repressed homosexual.
What?
That seemed plausible, but no psychosis. I hadn't been in contact with him for a long time. And then in the mailbox one day was a letter from someone from the Jewish community in Florence. 2 years after he passed, 1981. I don't know why I got it then. It was a shock, you know. Apparently he died all alone. His body wasn't found for some days. The Jewish community arranged for him to have a pauper's grave. Do you ever go to the cemeteries near the Fortezza da Basso?
Well, what did he die of? I deserve to know my genetic inheritance. I'm 50 and he died at 64.
It's not what you think. He died by his own hand, a self-inflicted gunshot to the head.
He shot himself?
Like some damn hillbilly.
He blew his brains out? Just after I saw him?
Oh, get a grip, Simon. This has nothing to do with you. I've read up on suicides, believe me. It's impulsive, cowardly. He was a child. There was no one left to flatter him. No one coming to his court at the Cafe Maggiore. He was just running away.
Why?
I think he'd run out of options.
How did he get the gun?
Well, how do you think? I've walked you around Tucson. You looked inside the gun stores. It just happened. He asked me to take him to a gun shop. He said he wanted to buy a Colt revolver like in the Westerns as a souvenir. I said that was old-fashioned. You should be more modern, buy a semi-automatic pistol, much more authentically American, an M1911, same caliber. He trusted me. I'm an ex-Marine, I told you that.
Didn't he need a background check?
I helped him buy it.
You bought it?
Yes.
In your name?
Yes. He had power. This power. What he wanted, what he asked for, he got. I couldn't say no to him. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How's sunny Arizona?
That's okay. Only one day left.
Dad, I did get a golden rose on my wrist.
Oh, that's nice.
Dad, for my present, Can you get me a cool cowboy BB gun for shooting birds?
No.
Why?
Because I just can't.
Oh, okay.
Pick something else. I've only got one day. I hate shopping.
Okay. Cowboy boots?
Well, that's easy.
You think they have snakeskin ones?
I'll look, but... Here, don't tell customs.
So when you get back to England, how long will you still be at Grand's?
Oh, not long, mate. There's just one thing while I'm there that I still want to do.
So why do you think you chose to go there on Yom Kippur?
I told you I had no idea it was a Jewish holiday and the gates would be locked.
You check news websites?
Yeah.
You have an interest in international affairs?
Of course.
So, of all the days to pick to go to a Jewish cemetery, you go on the Day of Atonement, when, stands to reason, it would be closed. And you could have stayed an extra day. It's only Florence to London, for goodness sake. You went all the way to Tucson, Arizona, and you don't stay long enough in Italy to see your father's grave.
I'm not Jewish. I don't know anything about their holidays.
Is it possible you didn't want to see his gravestone?
Perhaps I really didn't want to see his grave. I was ashamed. I did what I needed to do. It's over. Whatever went on in his life had nothing to do with me. You know what? As I was standing with my face pressed against the cold railings, I thought, Owen needs a trip. I want to take him on a holiday. We'll go to Israel. An adventure. No ghosts. Really explore. Have fun. Next year. So, in 72 hours I'll be in Sydney. Weekend back on the boat with my boy. And next year in Jerusalem.
Hey, Dad! What's up?
Oh, God, so predictable. Oh, I'm digging the hat. Oh, it's great to see you.
Oh, Dad, what are you doing?
Looking down your T-shirt, of course.
Well, I told you, it's just numbers.
They look better in the flesh. Good job, Owen. Now I need to look down the front.
Wait, Dad?
Oh, I prefer your lion. I missed that curly mane.
Oh, making him a mate. Thanks for getting me the snakeskin boots.
Oh, customs confiscated them. Kidding!
Oh, Dad, knock it off. Are you glad I look like my grandfather?
Let's go get something to eat.
In Unfinished Business by Judith Kampfner, Simon was played by Daniel Gerroll, Owen by Tom Datnow, Marjorie Sandra Shipley, Dr. Anna Krista Scott Reed, Jeff Sean Elliott, Tina Leslie Lyles, and the radio announcer Sydney Beveridge. Technical direction was by Scott Lehrer, and Unfinished Business was produced and directed by Judith Kampfner and was a Waters Company production for BBC Radio 4.
This video was uploaded to the channel Thinking Out Loud. Please like, comment and subscribe to the Thinking Out Loud channel. Thank you.